Everybody. My name is Gigi Delk. I am a professor of computer science at Tyler Junior College in Tyler, Texas, and I am thrilled to be part of a new opportunity to collaborate amongst different regions and different STEM and other majors. And so with that, I want to kind of talk a little bit about what got me into the regional collaborative game. I've been at Tyler Junior College for over 30 years. And as a semi-rural school, if you're not sure where Tyler is, we're on the eastern side of Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So we're about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to Dallas and about an hour from Shreveport. So if you cut I-20 all the way across the state of Texas on the eastern side, Tyler will be coming off of I-20. We are still fairly rural. We are a fairly good-sized school. It's 12,000 students, but we don't have a lot of major industry in the area. We did have a lot of manufacturing in the 70s and 80s, but a lot of that moved. Some of that's rebuilding now into smaller opportunities, but we don't have a lot of what we would call major science or STEM-oriented manufacturing or businesses that we can draw on for adjunct certified professors. So a little bit about how I got into this. We first started here at TJC with LSAMP, the Louis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation. And we were partnering with the University of Texas at Tyler, which is about 10 minutes down the road. And we were able to take advantage of undergraduate research opportunities, a huge bonus for our students. And that's where I first experienced the power of some type of a regional collaborative, because LSAMP brought in students from all over the state of Texas. There were 4 community colleges. There were 8 and then now 9 with SFA, but there was not SFA, but the schools in the University of Texas system. And our students had so many opportunities to be exposed to different levels of research. We had an entirely different cultural shift if you go from North Texas to East Texas, West Texas, and down South Texas. And so we had students from all over the state that were able to study and work and do undergraduate research with PhDs from all over the state. And it strengthened the communication so much between the community colleges that were involved and the universities that were part of the program. So that was ongoing. And then we had the opportunity to become involved with Aspire. And Aspire was an opportunity for us to work with students who were finishing up their graduate work, and in this case at the University of Texas at Tyler, but at neighboring universities. And what we were doing is we were bringing those university students back to the community college to experience the classroom in the community college. This was done entirely to support a real need that we have in many rural or semi-rural community colleges have, at least in my area. We just do not have an adjunct pool. We don't have a very huge faculty pool. And we can't compete with the big cities, with Houston and Dallas and Austin. So if someone is completely mobile and able to go wherever and teach wherever, they're probably going to go to one of the bigger schools where the paycheck is higher. That's just a fact of life. So we are constantly looking. We had a computer science programming position that was literally open for 3 years, and we simply could not find qualified applicants who were available to us. We did some nationwide searches, and people who were qualified didn't want to come to East Texas for the money that we were offering. So we decided to go about this a different way, and Aspire gave us that opportunity because the graduate students at UT Tyler who were not international were local kids who were used to living in East Texas, who had family close by, who in many cases were non-traditional students finishing up their degree. And so they already had established homes in the area. They had a reason to want to stay in East Texas. And through the 5 years, actually 7 years that we did Aspire, we were able to hire several biology lab specialists, a chemistry professor, and a computer science professor who did finally fill that position that had been open for so long. So this was a huge benefit to our campus because we were able to find people who wanted to stay in the area and had a reason to want to stay. This was a place they lived. This is a place they were comfortable with. And, many students don't necessarily want to spread their wings and fly. Some students have their engines running and they are headed for the big city lights, but a lot of students like it where they've grown up and kind of want to stay here, maybe have married in the process of going through the graduate program. And so that was another huge bonus for us. That was a huge power of the regional collaborative, because without that opportunity and the funding that allowed us to pay the graduate students a stipend to come and explore teaching in the community college, we probably would not have attracted those individuals. And in fact, through the process of that grant, we had a number of students who said they did not think about teaching previously. They just, the money was attractive. They needed some money. They wanted, so, hey, I'll come check it out. But what they found out is that they really enjoyed teaching very hands-on, the smaller classrooms, and they really enjoyed teaching, and in fact either taught with us or went on to teach in another area. So that was huge for us. That in any STEM field, mathematics, computer science, biology, chemistry, physics, any of those fields, we are always on double overloads looking for faculty. There's literally a faculty opening available year-round trying to recruit. So the Aspire program, that collaborative, was also huge for us. So when you think about collaboratives, this is where two or three things really made a difference. One is it was a huge opportunity to brainstorm, to hear how other people were doing it. We were able to speak with members of our alliance who are working with the military in a program that actually the military will pay a person preparing to retire and transition out of military life. They'll pay for them to work with a company for a period of time, with the idea that they're going to transition to that, easing that transition from military life to civilian life and making sure they have a job on the other side. And that's a huge benefit for schools, particularly community colleges, where there's not a lot of extra money. These individuals come in and actually have funding with them to be able to teach, or to, in our case, it's mostly looking for people who have a master's degree or who can teach in the workforce programs. Our workforce programs are exploding, and we are constantly looking for additional faculty in that area as well. So there's such a difference between departments at the university and departments at the community college. And for many people who are products of universities, they really don't know what goes on in a community college. And for some people in the community college who came out of industry and are now teaching, they don't know exactly what's going on in the university that's here beside us. And so there was some question, maybe not distrust, but maybe there was a concept that everybody said, well, we're doing it right. Well, what happened when we put the faculty together, when we were looking at trying to identify students that would be part of the program, the community college faculty shared why they taught. They shared their love for their students, their love for their subject matter, their passion for teaching, and their I guess their plan that, for example, our chemistry department has a fantastic chemistry program, but everybody that's in that program right now has been teaching for 20 years or more. It is their life. This is their baby that they've created. And so they were, they really were passionate about their subject matter, and they were very knowledgeable about their subject matter. A number of our faculty here at TJC have EdDs or PhDs and just chose to teach at the community college level. The university faculty were so impressed that they opened up. They shared a similar passion for their teaching field. They shared a similar passion for their students. And what was interesting is suddenly there was a huge communication barrier that was wiped away. Faculty were sitting down talking about, what do we teach here? How do you do that? How do you talk about this this particular difficult concept? And it opened communication lines, not just between the faculty that were at the meeting that day, but between department chairs and between people in the departments. And that has led to a more seamless transition of students, excellent students, maybe first generation students who did not have a lot of assistance in traversing their educational journey. And now we have faculty, they're saying, now we have these two great students, we'd like to come bring them over, let them meet you. And faculty are literally handing off students, and we are seeing a huge retention rate. And we're seeing students that are going on not just to finish a baccalaureate degree, but who are actively interested in graduate work and being involved in upper class opportunities. And so that, again, has been huge. Collaborations, particularly regional collaborations, give us such an opportunity to grow and to learn from each other, to hire additional faculty, and to form stronger communication lines between the universities and the community colleges. And that makes for a more successful educational experience all the way around. Hopefully, this has given you some temptations or some interest in being part of our regional collaborative and learning more about it. And again, I welcome any questions. My name is Gigi Delk. My email is gdel@tjc.edu. And I hope to see you in our next collaborative meeting. Thank you.